Welcome to Help Desk with Joe. We're in Spencer, West Virginia in the Patch Turned Up studio. And with me, as always, Joe.
Morning, fellas.
And Justin. Get a little bit of a letdown there with yours. Sorry about that, Justin. So
we're here.
Joe.
And Justin.
Yeah. So we're here with show 76. We got all kinds of good stuff to talk about. And Joe and Cena from A&M Digital Technologies powering all our stuff here at Patch. And bringing this show to you where they talk about all good stuff, technology, and some bad. But, you know, technology help for the average person, business, whatever, whoever needs it. Joe and Cena are there to help you out. So, on with show 76. And it's so weird to me. I felt like we passed a milestone at 75, but I mean, I know it's just numbers.
Right.
And if you look back over the past 10 years or so that you've been doing this show in some manner, I mean, we're on like 1,076, but I still like the idea of passing 75
right.
all the way to 100.
Exactly. And you also have to consider we kept this podcast going during a pandemic.
Oh, yeah. These are 76 shows over the last year and a half where we've done what we had to do.
Yeah, and I think we've missed like maybe 1 week out of everything, and it was because any of us was sick. It was just a scheduling conflict.
Just scheduling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which is crazy because there's some podcasts I subscribe to that they have all they've done is reposted old episodes in the last year and a half, and these are like popular podcasts.
Oh
so,
yeah.
So for us to keep this thing rolling, I'm pretty impressed that we was able to just take it on.
Yeah, I'm impressed. You guys have kept it going this long.
It seems like Joe and I are almost like a married couple.
Yeah.
We spend one day a week together for a couple hours. We get along great, and we do our thing. But you know, over the 10 years, that's a pretty amazing run, really.
Yeah.
And I'm saying 10 because I know it's roughly 10. I don't really know the exact number, but I'm sure one of us could look it up. But oh well.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Videos on YouTube. You guys are talking about floppy disks and all sorts of stuff from back in the day.
Floppy disks. Now Joe he's getting personal.
I know. Now he's hitting below the belt there.
Yeah. But I mean, I remember like Outdoor with JD or
yeah, 5
was.
minutes outside with JD, and then 5 minutes outside with Kale.
And they were young. They were elementary age.
Yeah, and it's crazy going back and seeing those videos of the boys.
Yeah, their squeaky voices.
And see how small they were. And then I seen the picture that you posted to Kale over the weekend. It's like the boy's not a boy anymore.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. But you know, back in those days, we were just starting out. I remember our background was a poster board that we colored up and back in old school.
Well, and take it like 2 weeks before that, it was a sheet in your office at your desk.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. The first show was a sheet from our float.
Yes.
That we just hung across the office to do a test run. You came and set everything up on my desk, and we just did it like that.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? I remember that. Mr. Graffrida was the first person on the show.
Yes.
It was me, you, and Mr. Graffrida.
Yeah, so think about this, Justin. You know where Dave and Zach's desks are. You know, there's not much room right there. That was our studio.
Very first one, we're like, hey, let's give this a test run, see what happens.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what we did. We just upload it to YouTube, I guess?
Yeah, I think we did.
Just record on a video recorder and upload it.
I think it was on a camera.
Yeah, we had a webcam and we had an audio mixer.
Did we do a webcam?
Yeah.
So before that, then we just used the camera, edited it, and uploaded it.
Because the first week we had a webcam, we had the whole gear. Yeah, we might have live streamed it.
Maybe it was the very first live stream.
But yeah, we did it live because we had the webcam. Because we bought an audio mixer and everything.
Yeah, I remember you set up all the gear, and I remember you didn't like that we were tight inside the office, but I was like, this is all I got time for right now because we were running back and forth. We didn't have the studio set up.
Right.
So it was just one of those deals where we were like, okay, we're just going to have to make do and try this out, see what happens. And how do we find ourselves on YouTube?
Help Desk Episode 1, December 14th, 2012.
Really?
Oh man, it's got some like B-roll of someone typing on a computer, and Help Desk flies in. You guys did some editing on this.
There's no you guys. This is all Joe. I was the guy sitting at the desk saying, "Listen, Joe, I really want to do this, but I don't know what's going on and how it all works. So however it goes down."
Okay.
Now that's the first one. That's here in this studio with a whiteboard behind us. Yeah.
Yeah. Go to.
There's one more that's got.
Go to youtube.com/rcpatch21, and then you can actually go to the channel right here. Very first episode, Patch 21 Web Show, Episode 1. 8 years ago. And it has you and Zach. October 18th, 2012.
Oh, yeah, so that's even earlier. This is once you guys start getting it rolling.
Yeah, this is...
There you go.
Okay.
Yep.
The web show.
We were making up props. We had Kale's social studies or science fair board behind us, the Patch Yes for Kids for the Levy sign, and then the Float American flag with the daycare kids' handprints. Huh. That's Zach's desk you can see on the side.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, we have moved up in the world.
Oh, is there a way to tell how many videos you have? Like I see we got millions. Especially with the pandemic starting, we've done a ton of videos.
Yes.
Because we're virtual for a year and a half. I mean, I'm passing by 4-H livestock 2020 videos. Tons of Penny and Pam. Mr. Fava.
Well, I'm showing
Fitness with the Boys.
Okay, I'm going to say around 290. Oh, no,
Yeah.
wait.
Roan
Never
Youth
mind.
Basketball, because we videoed the finals, the tournament for that.
Hold on, I was looking at the wrong account. I was looking...
Tons of sports.
yeah.
Got soccer, football. Willing Jesuit students, which is now Willing University. There's a summer program with Savannah and Morgan Cottrell, and Morgan is now Morgan Roberts and a teacher over in Wirt County.
Yes, and she actually had Cena's cousin's boy as one of her students last year.
Oh man, sorry for that. Oh gosh, Coach Patrick 5 years ago from Wesleyan when he came down and did the soccer camp. Aha, Joe, I just hit your after school program from 5 years ago. High school basketball.
Yeah, you guys used to have more like almost an interview format where you guys are sitting side by side. And
Yep. Brought in Roan Youth Basketball players. Drawing classes. There's Gabby 6 years ago. Gosh, Gabby Williams. So Joe used to do so get this, Justin. Here's one that says app review with Colby. Balloons Tower Defense 5. App reviews with Mike. X-Split Game Master. Star Wars Commander. Icebound Land. So we used to have kids doing video reviews on games. Huh. Back in the day.
app reviews, yeah, Temple Run.
Anna Ferrara. Typhoon updates. Used to have regular Typhoon updates. Snow day activities. 5 minutes outside with Kale 7 years ago. Eight years ago. So was 8 years ago the deal then?
Yes.
Wow. So the first one was Patch 21 Web Show Episode 1.
Oh, the channel has hundreds of videos.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because I'm looking at...
So here's the funny part. Episode 1 had 63 views.
Now, Penny's Reading the YouTube channel, it blew up big time. It still gets big numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Hats off to her she's been doing it since the beginning too, right? I mean,
Yes, she
she
did.
has videos from 10 years ago or
Yeah.
8 years ago.
Yeah. It's crazy going down memory lane, see where we've come from.
We discussed PC versus tablet. Which one works best in your environment?
Wow, that has changed things.
Yeah. Craziness. Justin, you're supposed to keep us on topic, and you got us off looking at old videos while we're live on air. Anyway, so we have been doing Help Desk with Joe in some version for 8 years.
That's crazy.
And I know before that, these are just the live ones.
Yeah.
Before that, we did shows that we would record, and you would take home, edit, and then load it up on your own somewhere. I don't know where, but
Yeah, it's all there, the whole library. It's
craziness. Okay, all right, back to the show. All right, so Spotify. I like
Yes.
Spotify. I use Spotify a lot.
okay. So this is actually maybe some good news for you, Dave.
I like it. I like good news.
So you still have a Samsung smartwatch, right?
No.
Do you still have a smartwatch? Period.
Yes.
Okay. What?
And it uses Spotify. I have a Garmin now.
Okay.
Justin got me on the Garmin kick because we run. I run. I jog, slow jog.
Okay.
Maybe like fast walk. He runs.
Okay. Does it have Wear OS on it, or do you know?
I don't even know how to know that.
Okay. So Spotify, I'm pretty sure this would work with your Samsung. We'd have to look at your Garmin.
Okay.
But Spotify is now offering offline playback on Spotify's Wear OS app. So that means Spotify support for offline playback in Spotify's Wear OS app is rolling out now, the company confirmed to The Verge. As spotted by Android Central, some users on Reddit report that they have already are able to use the feature, so if you haven't gotten it yet, it's coming. So what it is you can use your watch and download albums, playlists, whatever to your watch and be able to listen to it offline without having to have an internet connection.
That's nice. And you would do this through the app?
Mine does
Yes.
that. Like I know my watch, I can hook my headphones to it,
Right.
and it'll play Spotify downloaded to the watch.
Offline?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like when I'm outside running,
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
is that considered offline?
no, offline is like,
no service.
yeah, no internet connection.
I don't think my watch has internet connection. It hooks to my phone.
Do you have your phone with you when you run?
No,
Okay, so then yeah, you might be okay. Then you may already have it.
I think it already has it.
Okay. And you have a paid account, I'm going to assume?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I have the family plan.
Okay. Yeah, because there's a couple caveats with the offline playback on Wear OS. According to the Spotify blog, your watch will need to be able to be on Wear OS 2.0 or newer and be able to use the feature, and only Spotify Premium subscribers will be able to download albums and playlists for offline listening. Both paid and free users can still download podcasts like Help Desk with Joe and Dave for offline playback. So if you have free or paid, you can listen to podcasts. You can download podcasts for free, but if you want any music, you have to have a paid account.
Okay. Yeah, mine has a playlist on it. The Bluetooth doesn't go very far. It's really weird though. Like with earphones in, when I run, when my arm goes behind my back, it cuts out a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Which could be my headphones. My headphones are really old.
Do you know the model of that watch?
It's the Vivio Active 4. Which, I mean, I'm assuming the watch should have strong enough Bluetooth that shouldn't happen, so I kind of sense my earbuds, whatever you want to call them.
Okay, I'm pulling up the specs on the Video 4 right now to see.
Phone free, put your playlists on your wrists.
Yeah. It's amazing, the technology now. I mean, who would have thought this is like the Jetsons type stuff? You got a watch that plays music, answers your phone.
But we still don't have flying cars.
This is true.
And one thing just drives me nuts is the hoverboards.
Mm-hmm.
They're not hoverboards.
Don't get off on a tangent.
First time in like 17 shows, Justin's pulled that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
No,
don't
usually-
hover at all.
usually
They're
when
on wheels. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, usually when I get my soapbox out, Justin's like adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
I know. That's because he has a hoverboard and he likes the idea that it's a hoverboard.
That's what it is. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, they're cool and it's funny to watch videos of people falling off of them, but it's not a hoverboard. It does not hover. It has wheels.
Yeah, it's saying that music storage is standard on the Vivio 4. So in theory, Dave, if you were somewhere where you didn't have any cell service, you could still have your
If you
playlist.
downloaded it ahead of time.
Yeah, you have to download it onto the watch. I had to do that. It took about 20 minutes.
That's not bad.
But I mean, I have my workout playlist on there. So, yeah.
So now it's available on Wear OS, so your Android-based smartwatches.
I really like it. It's a good feature. I hate, messing with the phone when you go running. So the watch is pretty neat. You can play your music, start your Strava, because I'm part of the Roane County activity group. Joe.
Yeah, I got my buddy Greg on that. I got him
Yeah.
started on it. He just hit his 10-mile mark last week.
80
Really?
members now.
Yeah.
80 plus members. getting
Well,
off. We're on our way to 100.
so he hit the 10-minute or 10-mile deal.
Yes.
Awesome. I don't know how to log in. I was gonna check it out. So anyway, all right. So hold on. Whoa, Justin, what is going on here? We're
Okay,
talking
so
about
like,
Spotify. Go back. Spotify.
So we're 20 minutes in the show and we've covered one news story.
We haven't even covered it, have we? Is
Yeah.
that everything?
Yeah. So Wear OS is now offering Spotify offline. So if you have a paid subscription, you can download music to your watch now for offline play.
Good to know. So we roll right along. T-Mobile.
I'm trying to log into Strava to see what we got going on here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So while Dave's logging in,
I'm in. Okay.
so T-Mobile, we talked last week about T-Mobile having a data breach.
Yeah, and you're a
There's-
T-Mobile guy.
Yeah. So they are still cleaning up the mess of that. So I'm not going to cover that this week because every time I check for an update, there's like, yeah, there's more. Yeah, there's more. So they don't have an exact count. So stay tuned on that one. But T-Mobile is now giving customers a free year of Apple TV Plus for both new and existing customers on Magenta or Magenta Max plans.
This just came out, this news.
Yes.
I wonder if this is, they're trying to sweeten people up a little bit after that data
Hey,
breach.
ignore that data breach in this
Yeah.
hand while I show you what's
Yeah.
in this hand.
Pay no attention to the data breach behind the curtain.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So T-Mobile has announced a new promotional perk for its customers starting today. Both new and existing customers to its Magenta and Magenta Max plans can get a year subscription of Apple TV Plus. The deal applies to virtually any of T-Mobile's post-paid customers that it classifies as part of those plans, including its Magenta 55 Plus, Magenta Military, Magenta First Responders, Sprint Unlimited Plus, Sprint Premium, and T-Mobile for Business plans. Better yet, the deal isn't just for newcomers to T-Mobile. It seems that anyone subscribing to those plans can get the free year of Apple TV Plus.
Is this you? Does this affect you, Joe?
Since I fall under the Sprint umbrella, I'm going to assume it does.
Okay.
So customers under T-Mobile's Magenta and Magenta Max and T-Mobile for Business can find the offer listed under their rate plans on the T-Mobile's website or app to get the free year, while customers who are still under Sprint's umbrella, that includes myself, will have to go to T-Mobile's promotional site and apply the code 2021 Apple TV P1 to get the offer. Regular T-Mobile customers can do that as well if they prefer.
And this is like $5 a month, basically?
Yeah,
It
it's
would cost you if you didn't get it for free?
right. Yeah, Apple TV Plus is kind of like Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, stuff like that.
What's the deal with the whole plus?
It's more.
Super.
Yeah, like HBO Max, it's like, yeah, Max, but there's still a couple features you don't get.
Yeah, that's what drives me nuts. Is like it's
Weird
HBO
name.
Max, you get everything, but this and this and this and that.
I have a bone to pick with Justin.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You're not in the top 8 leaderboard for our Strava group.
This week?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get that fixed.
I mean, what happened? It's Wednesday already.
Give him 5 minutes. He can manually put some stuff in. And
We're 4 days in and you have nothing.
I'll jump in my car and hit record.
yeah, he'll be about 3 laps around the building in the car.
Have you not ran the last couple days, or you just forgot to log it?
I have not ran this
Oh,
week.
taking a break.
Yeah.
All right, letting some other people lead the leaderboard. I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah.
Brent Cottrell is still there though. He's hanging in tight.
Yeah, I gotta pick it up.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
all. That's Justin's plan is let somebody else.
He'll have those days.
He's trying to help people out, help boost everybody.
Confidence in-
Yeah.
I mean,
And
hey,
here-
some people were diehards.
And
I mean,
here's
it's-
Dave trying to call him out on it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we've
no.
got some walkers that are
Yeah,
like
we got every day,
Yeah.
every morning. Yep. Stephanie Stotts walked this morning 3 miles.
Mhm.
Heck yeah. So yeah, I mean, getting a lot of good stuff going on.
Well, Joe, you'll have to update us if that
I was gonna say, let me check on Joe.
if you
Nah.
if you do end up getting Apple TV Plus, maybe a little review.
Okay, yeah.
Are you getting Apple TV Plus?
I'm going to look into it, yeah. If I can get it for free for a year, absolutely.
By golly.
Because remember, Apple TV Plus got in some hot water there back in December, November, Because they was going to be the one with exclusive rights to Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, Charlie Brown Christmas, and
Yeah.
all that. And then finally PBS stepped in and said, "No, we'll handle that."
Yeah. Joe. Joe.
I know.
April 6th is the last activity.
I'm not saying I haven't done anything since then. I just never logged anything.
Anyway, all right, so plus.
Yeah. My sister was telling me about Ted Lasso. It's one of the shows on Apple TV, and yeah, it's getting a lot of buzz. The best comedy on TV, some people are saying.
Uh-oh.
So,
Okay.
I get a little worried when I hear things like that.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 dentists. It's fine.
Yeah. 20 Emmy Award nominees. So maybe check that out, Joe. And let us know. If it's worth
Share
the
your
$5
account
a month.
information with Joe. We'll all check it out.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, I do have a projector I need you guys to test with me as well. I've already
Nice.
tested a couple times, but
Yeah.
we could test it here in the studio. And
All
And
right.
find another short flick.
Documentary. We'll watch a documentary. Okay. So, Spotify, which I really liked.
yes,
T-Mobile, which has no effect on me but does you.
yes.
And now I typed it in.
Microsoft.
Microsoft. I
Yes.
typed it in, but I can't remember. And I'm not looking at it right now, so yeah. Okay, Microsoft. Here we go.
More good news?
No, this is some bad news.
Oh,
So, well, I can't give you guys all good news all the time.
come
I
on,
mean,
Joe.
Hey.
It's Wednesday. It's time for good news.
I did. I gave you two good stories.
All right.
But you at least gotta give me a little credit. I didn't act like the national news and give you bad news right out of the barrel.
I don't even have TV, so I feel good about it. Because I don't see it. Anyway, all right, so Microsoft, hit us with this third update. What we got going on?
So Microsoft announces price increase for Office 365 and Microsoft 365 starting in March of next year. So there's going to be a rate increase.
Yeah, that is bad.
Yes.
That's kind of crazy because a lot of people use Microsoft Office, and what can you do about it other than pay for it?
Well, now
I guess you don't have to have the 365.
that's
I
going
guess.
to come to this week's tip of the week. So we're going to get in a lengthy discussion on that.
Ah, this is what I like about you, Joe. This is why you're my favorite.
A problem and a solution.
Yes. Brings a problem to the doorstep, says, by the way, I already got it solved. Nothing like that out of your technology guy. Heck yeah.
Well,
So-
as I told somebody yesterday, I said the IT department's always been looked at as like a money pit because you just throw money in there to get stuff, but
Yeah.
there's no benefit. There's benefit, but there's not.
Right.
And IT department's job is always to overserve and under budget.
Isn't that crazy? And I've seen school systems that have, these massive technology things going on, and they got like 3 technology guys. I'm
Yeah.
like, there is no way
No.
3 people can cover all the issues that a school system will have.
No.
And all the teachers complain and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, they should have 10 IT guys to cover all the crap that needs
Yeah,
covered.
at the bare minimum, one at each school.
Yeah, and you never see that.
No.
So I don't know what's going on
Yeah,
here. But
my sister works in Parkersburg,
yeah,
and that's one thing I preach her all the time. Be nice to the IT guy, because if something breaks, you'll be one of the first ones that gets fixed.
Oh,
so
yeah.
be extra nice to him, and
and if you have something on there you don't want anybody to know about, he'll be the first one to see it.
yeah, and that's what she asked me. She's called me a couple times and, hey, this is doing this. What's going on? And it's just something simple, like a printer
Yeah.
won't print or whatever. And I'll tell her, and I said, if it doesn't do that, and the IT guy has to come in and tell him you've already done these steps, I said,
Right.
it saves him time and then makes you look like you know what you're doing. You'll get moved up the priority list.
Oh
so.
yeah.
Yeah, next time you won't think, oh, I don't want to deal with her. That was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So there you go. Tip of the week, unofficial.
Yeah.
Don't mess with the IT guy. Be super nice. Bring them food.
Yes.
Yes to all the above.
Yes.
Coming straight from an IT guy. Because, it is frustrating. And I know, like, even here in our school system, we don't have enough IT guys. And it's so hard for the IT guys. And it's so hard for the people that need their help.
Right.
So it's kind of a catch-22. You can't really win there because just, like you said, under budgeted and way massively underserved. And you'd think that would be a priority because so much technology, especially now with COVID, so much technology-driven stuff.
Yes.
But I don't think it is still.
No.
I think it's, let's just try to get by.
Yeah.
What's the damage, Joe? How much of a rate increase are we looking at here?
Yeah.
Not bad. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. So Microsoft is announcing its first price increase for its Office 365 and Microsoft 365 services in a decade. So this is the first price increase they've had
In
since
a decade.
Yes.
Wow.
So the price increases will affect commercial and business users of Microsoft's software as a service offerings next year, with no changes in pricing to education or consumers. So if you have any of the Office 365 business packages, listen up. So the 365 Business Basic will be bumped up from $5 a month to $6 a month per user. The Business Premium service was going from $20 a month to $22 a month. And then if you have the 365 E1, it'll be going from $8 to $10, E3 from $20 to $23, E5 from $35 to $38, and then Microsoft 365 E3 is going from $32 to $36 a month. So not a huge jump.
Have they explained it in any way? Like, this is necessary because X, Y, Z, or it's just one of those things that over time eventually you gotta
It's just
every decade bump it up a little bit?
Yeah. I think that's what it's boiled down to. Yeah, they didn't give a rhyme or reason as to why.
I don't like the whole monthly fee thing. I liked it much better when you just bought what you bought and you keep it until your computer runs out, which in these days and age is like 2 years.
Well,
But
I have Office 365, and that'll get our discussion into the tip of the week. And I'll tell you why I like the 365 just based on what my job requires.
yeah.
For my job, it is very beneficial.
So just your average Joe, though, is not going to get an increase? Is only targeted at business accounts?
Yes. Yeah, this is only affecting the business accounts. So if you have Office 365 Home and Student or Office 365 for through colleges or whatever, you're unaffected. Your pricing is going to stay the same.
So yeah, home is just like what someone would have at their house.
Right.
Just for
Yeah.
their
So
own use.
what impact do you think this will have for businesses?
Not much. I mean, it's not a huge price increase, so you're going to hear for a couple weeks of grumbling, and that's going to be the end of it.
Yeah, but only with businesses, right?
Yeah. And like I said, the biggest jump is the Microsoft 365, which that's more of like large corporation enterprise level stuff, and it's going to be bumped up to $4 a month. That's the biggest jump in everything. So
Yeah.
everything else is between $1 and $3. So
Yeah.
it's not a huge. We're going to lose business over this kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
Like Dave was saying, he liked being able to just purchase the software and go. What do you think it is about all these companies that they want to move away from that model?
But they make more money.
Yeah.
Think about it. I sell you a license for whatever the price is.
$5 a month, or I mean, a license for $400.
Yeah, so let's say I sold you $400 license.
Yeah.
And I got my $400, but you use that same program for 10 years. I'm
Right.
losing money now.
Okay.
Yeah, the longer you make it last, the cheaper it gets for you on a monthly basis.
Yeah. So now if I lock you into $5 a month, guess what? I've got $5 coming from you every month, regardless if you use the software or not.
Which I understand on their end. I understand that. But as a person that does software for business, for patch and stuff,
Right.
it's much easier to make one payment and go on. These
Right.
monthly deals are just pain in the butchkins.
Right.
But
I wonder how much illegal software use there was. How much a problem that was, where someone would go on some website and get the full license and not pay anything for it. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
what are you saying, Justin?
So I remember people were doing that.
How many
I
times have
heard
you
of.
done this, Justin?
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
People getting free stuff. I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. Had this one friend.
Yeah.
Asking for a friend. Is that how that goes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. We see what Justin's been up to in his spare time.
Well, that's why he's here. We're trying to correct his ways,
Yeah.
But
so he can go back and tell his friend how to correct their ways.
that's easier, might discourage people from someone who's, a high school student that wants Photoshop, and it's like $800 back in the day, but now they're saying, oh no, $10 a month.
Yeah.
And then maybe that
Yeah.
student would be less likely to go on some site and try to get it for free.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I wouldn't know. I'd have to talk to that person I knew back in the day that did that.
Anyway.
He'll have to track that friend down and ask him.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
So you're not too worried about this, Joe? It's not gonna break you to have to
Pay that extra $1 a month? No, it's not going to be a deal breaker.
Yeah, see that I kind of feel like they got you over a barrel because I mean, what can you do anyway?
I guess
That's
What are the
well, that's this week's tip of the
tip
week.
of the week? All right,
Yeah.
so what a nice segue right into
Yes.
tip of the week.
nice Dave.
There we go.
Okay,
So Joe not only tells us what's going on, but then, like you said, Justin comes in with solutions.
So here's this week's tip of the week. We're going to discuss 3 options here for your office productivity software needs. We're going to talk about Office 365, buying Microsoft Office outright, and a free and legal alternative. So tell your friend Justin that there is a free and legal alternative.
There you go, Justin. We'll keep you. I mean, your friend out, Joe. Poor Justin.
So I'm going to go through all 3 of them first, and then I'm going
Okay.
to talk about the pros and cons on both.
Gotcha.
So Office 365, the way it works is you pay a monthly subscription for the service, and you get, depending on which package you get Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Access, OneDrive. You get OneDrive cloud storage, and it all depends on which tier you get on which package you get, and that's a monthly fee.
Right.
But included in all that is if I'm running Microsoft Office 2019 right now. If Microsoft comes out tomorrow and says, hey, next week we're going to release Microsoft Office 2021, guess what? I get that upgrade for free.
Okay.
I get the newest version for free because I'm paid in my subscription.
Yeah, you just keep on paying. Yeah.
Right. The paid version, you pay a one-time fee, and depending on which version you need, it can range anywhere from $150 per computer, one-time fee, to $300-400 per computer. So that's where it gets a little sketchy on.
Yeah.
And with the Office 365, I think our Office plan is like $8.25 a month, and that's for up to 5 computers. So that's not bad. Because that was where the reason we started with the Office 365 was we was needing new versions, and it's going to be like $500.
Yeah.
I was like, no, we're not going to pay. And that was just for 2 computers. Like, no, we're not going to pay that. So then we went to 365 and saved a ton of money.
Right.
And was able to put it on 5 computers instead of 2.
Do you have it on 5 computers?
We have it on 3.
Okay. I mean, you're an IT guy, so I assume you have multiple computers.
No,
but-
actually, we have 4 or 5 seats, what they call them, in use. Yes.
Nice. Okay.
And then the open source version, the most popular and what open source software is it's free, legal, and open source means that it's not like Microsoft Office, where Microsoft is very protective of its code.
Right.
Open source is, hey, here's the code, and so you can see what all exactly is going on there. We're not doing anything questionable in the background, and it's free for the community. And open source, some of the options, the most popular options are LibreOffice and OpenOffice.
I've used OpenOffice before, briefly. That's one of those things where anyone around the world could theoretically help out with the code, and
Yes.
it's like coders around the world kind of get together and make their own software
Right.
that's open for everyone and free.
Yeah, and it's and you don't have to worry about someone hacking it, because if you try to inject some code to try to mess with it, there's 30 people around going, hey, what's that?
Yeah.
What about Google Docs? Is that an option as well?
Yes, Google Docs is an option. That would fall under depending on if you're using the free or the paid version on it, that could be a possible open office alternative.
I
Open
didn't
source.
even know they had a paid version of that.
Well, I think the way Google's Maps is set up, there's extra bells and whistles if you get the paid version. But yeah, Google Docs is it's a free. I don't guess it would be as open source, but yeah, it's a free alternative as well.
Yeah, have you ever heard of Microsoft?
It's Workspace Google, and it's Google Docs for work or Google Docs for business.
Yeah.
but it's formerly G Suite. Now it's Workspace for Google.
And it's pretty much, I mean, it's like almost a carbon copy. I wonder if Microsoft ever has tried to pursue any legal action saying, hey, you're basically making an exact copy of Excel. Like, is there no, you know,
They call theirs sheets. So
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
the same.
can you just pretty much make a piece of software that does all the same things and not get sued for it?
Well, I think like a spreadsheet's a spreadsheet's a spreadsheet. I mean, there's really now where they can sue is if Microsoft used some kind of proprietary macros and somebody tried to copy that and didn't license for it. Yeah, I think they could sue on that. But I think at the end of the day, a word processor is a word processor.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You can't really sue because your program has a white sheet for you to start typing on.
Copy and paste. We came up with that idea.
Yeah.
Copy and paste.
Man, could you imagine if they did have a way to keep you from copy and pasting?
Oh,
That would corner the market something fierce.
yes.
Any of those main tabs.
Right.
If you, wow. I mean, we use Microsoft anyway, but wow.
Right.
I remember Notepad was a big thing.
Yes.
I hated Notepad. Still hate it.
I still use Notepad
Really?
just
Why?
for notes when I'm working on something
Why wouldn't you just use Word?
because Word takes too long to open up.
Really?
He doesn't have time for all that.
I don't got
Yeah.
no time for that Notepad nonsense or Microsoft nonsense.
Yeah, because I open up Notepad and it's there. I open up Word, you get the little box and it says now loading, and it's 5 seconds of my day I can't afford to waste, Dave.
Now, Joe, you're a small business owner. Would you ever consider, going to one of these open source options, or they'd have to really jack the price up to get you to move that way?
Me personally, no, because we have so many of our clients are Microsoft Office customers that it's very hard for us to steer away from it. But we do have, because with open source, I've read the verbiage, and it is legal for businesses to use it as well. So we do have some customers, including business customers, that actually use some of the open source alternatives. So it's kind of a mixed bag.
That having it say an open source like that though makes me think that you're just open for hacking and stuff. I know what you're saying. Somebody would catch it most likely, but
Right.
they have the same security setups as like.
Yes. Yeah. Actually,
I mean,
not as many people use open source as they do like Microsoft.
Microsoft.
Because so they don't have as big of a target on their back.
Gotcha.
So you don't have to worry about it as much. And the organizations behind the open source programs themselves, like OpenOffice and LibreOffice, they have such a big user base that
Really?
they can't afford to.
I mean, I've never even heard of that. Not that I'm a technology guy by any means. but,
Right.
I mean, I've been using a computer for a little while.
But they have such a big following that it's hard for them to not keep up on tabs on things.
I'm assuming there's a big con coming somewhere because you've never suggested open source anything for us here at Patch.
Well, in your case,
So-
yes,
Yeah. So
because some of the
waiting for that shoe to drop.
so
And you're not using it yourself, so that tells me all I need to know, Joseph.
All right, so you ready for the pros and cons for all three?
You betcha.
Okay, so for Office 365, the pros.
Okay.
Uh,
This is a pretty big tip of the week, by the way.
yeah.
This is a big one.
This is
Usually,
Affect a lot of people.
yeah.
So Office 365, the pros. What I like about it is you're always up to date on the latest version. You're not always a version behind or worried about security issues of using too old of a version that's no longer supported. All the bells and whistles you get with it. Not only do you get your Office package, but you get cloud storage like OneDrive. Plus, most of these licenses allow you to use multiple devices, so you're not locked down to paying per license per computer. One license can cover multiple computers, and also include mobile versions of the apps as well as for you to load on your phones and tablets. The cons is, like Justin said, they're milking you for money every month. They've got to get their $5, $6, $10, whatever. They're squeezing money out of you every month. So it's not a huge con, but It all depends on where you're at. If in my case, it's very beneficial to pay that $8 a month because I'm always up to date. In your guys' case, it would be just as many devices you all have. You just be poor. I mean, you just be hemorrhaging money. The paid version, this is where you buy it once and you own it forever. The pros is you don't get soaked every month for that monthly.
Yeah, you kind of offset the paying the longer duration for just a one-time hit.
Right. So you have that, but the cons on that is people are creatures of habit, and people are really bad about, well, I paid for that license 10 years ago. I'm still going to use it on this computer, which is fine because it'll work, but that's an old program, and you're opening yourself up to huge security issues because eventually that software is no longer going to be supported for security patches and all that. And if there's a security flaw detected out in the wild that a hacker can jump on the bandwagon and take full advantage of, they will, and you just set yourself up for trouble because you are letting your device be the access point for hackers to get into your network and just destroy whatever.
Yeah, big concern there.
Right. Open source, the pros, it's free. That is a huge pro. It's free and it's legal. Those are two things I always tell my customers. It's free and it's legal because a lot of times getting something for free on the internet has that stigma of, is it questionable? No, this is free and legal. The con with open source software is, for example, Dave, in your case, you guys use some spreadsheets because we tested this a couple years ago. Remember when we had that whole ordeal moving it from Dropbox to...
Yeah.
And we try to use Google Docs.
Yep.
And one of the spreadsheets you all used, the macros you all had set up, Google Docs would not understand.
Yeah, it didn't support it or
Now,
whatever.
I've never tried it in these open source versions to see if they would work or not, but that's one of the cons you can run into is you may have a spreadsheet that works perfect in Excel but doesn't translate as well over to these open source versions because they don't have a full grasp of Microsoft's understanding on how the macro works.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that coin, unless you're doing something really weird, if you just need a word processor or just a basic spreadsheet program and don't want to spend any money, absolutely, because these programs can fully save, open, and edit in the Microsoft Office format. I could make a file in an open source version, send it to you guys. You guys wouldn't know if I used Microsoft Office or an open source version because I could save it in the Microsoft format.
Interesting.
And another con on the open source version is if you're used to looking at the layout of Microsoft Office, these layouts some of them look like the older versions of Microsoft Office. So some people go, I don't like that look. It doesn't matter to
We'll
me,
take you off on a tangent here, but how much stuff do you see in the technological world that just because the format changes upsets people?
More than what you realize.
I believe it, because I don't like change. You know, like I get a new phone version or whatever. If it changes something and I'm used to doing that same repetitious pattern, it upsets me.
Yeah, and then you get used to it, but...
Yeah, I mean, every time I've gotten used to newer
like
upgrades, and I'm like, all right, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm used to it, but man, that initial change is always so hard.
Yeah.
So that's why when you're talking about that being a con, to me that'd be a major con. And maybe it's just because I'm older. I mean, I'm 47, so maybe I'm just ingrained to not want change like that, where like kids now, they just go through apps and whatever, and doesn't seem to bother them to have that much change.
I don't like it either. Like my podcast app, it'll change, and I'm like, why did they make it that way? It was better the old way.
Yeah,
That's my initial response.
Well, I've seen this play out over the years. To the most basic thing, when I worked at the hospital, we had to upgrade the software for whatever reason. And literally, from the end user standpoint, it didn't change their processes. They didn't have to do anything different. It literally changed the screens from a black background with red and yellow font to a gray background with black font, and we had people scream for months. I hate this. This is terrible. I can't do my job now. And just yeah. And it literally changed it from black with red and yellow font to gray background with black font, and you thought You just laid a brand new piece of software on them, said have at it, and with no training.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
I mean, I understand it because, like I said, I don't like the change, and some of it's been for the better. Like it took you a long time to talk me into the phone app,
Yes.
but now that I've gotten used to it, I really love not getting spam calls.
It has cut it down.
Oh, tremendously. You know that we were talking last week or the week before. I've gotten several spam calls there for a little bit. They went away.
Yeah, mine quit again.
Hmm.
Yeah, mine went back to normal.
Yeah, what the heck's going on there? Anyway, but yeah, okay. Sorry, interrupted your cons to go off on a tangent, but that's just one of those things where something changes and just like, why? Now I can't imagine going back to 5 years ago, whatever we used to have and use. But like, well, okay, here's a good example. The computers used to work one way, and now all our computers use apps.
Yes.
So you go into your computer Play Store to download whatever app you want to do whatever.
Right.
That was so hard for me to sort out because it was kind of like you have to go to your desktop. And I really like having the desktop format because that's what I'm used to.
Right. You can still do that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I use.
Yeah.
But I know that in the background there's an app type setup, kind of like my phone.
Yeah. They want you to go that route. Or, Or it's made for tablets. Yeah.
Right. That's where it's going. So,
right.
Yeah. So I see that, but one of those things. I just hate going back to that app screen to get whatever and then coming back to my desktop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll go to the website because you want to download a program, and then they send you to the app store. I'm like, okay, yeah, the Microsoft Store. That's the link you'll get. Oh, go. If you want to do
you'll
this,
go here.
Go to your store. I'm like, okay. So does this mean you're doing some sort of rating on this one, Joe, or not?
No. This was no rating this week.
I got 3 different ones.
Yeah, this is just a
tip of the week, and here's
if you're wanting or needing an office suite for your home or office or whatever, here's your 3 options. Here's the pros and cons with both, especially now that Microsoft had announced the rate increase.
So this leads me to my next question.
Okay.
How much do you think, if someone was listening to this podcast right now or Facebook Live and said, okay, those are interesting things, but I definitely want to go, or I'm still concerned. They called you up and they said, hey, Joe, which one of these 3 options are my best? I'm still not convinced on what I need. How likely are you to free source them?
Here's what I always tell all my customers. Because the first thing they'll go is, well, I don't really want to pay for this. I always tell them, try the open source first. If you don't like it, guess what? You're not out anything. We can always go back and get a paid version of Microsoft Office or the Office 365, but try the free first. You're not out anything.
Right.
If you don't like it, the only thing you're out is the time you spent trying to work with it.
Right.
And then just uninstall it, and we'll go back to the paid. I would much rather have them waste their time on a free version than spend the money and go, well, you know what? That free version does the exact same thing.
Right.
That's what I tell everybody.
How often then do you have people that try the free version that then say, okay, I just want the paid thing?
Not as often as what you think.
Okay. So once they kind of go that route, it might be okay. So you're making good recommendations to the right people then.
Yeah, because I always tell them, try it. If you don't like it, we can always revert back. And I still have a few occasions where that happens, but most of the time they go with the free version and they never slow down.
Nice. Okay. Well, good stuff. Well, if anybody had any questions on that, because I feel like that's been a pretty big topic. The Spotify comes or goes, and then whatever T-Mobile. I mean, you got to be a T-Mobile user to kind of, or want to be a T-Mobile user to deal with that. But this one affects a lot of people.
Right.
I don't know anybody that has a computer that doesn't have some sort of Word document, Excel document, or something going on that uses one of these 3 things. I think, right?
Right.
Is that your choices? Is there more?
Just Microsoft Office and the open source alternatives,
Okay. So, kind of crazy, unless you're like a Mac user, I guess.
Well, even they have Microsoft Office.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I think
they used to have, what, WordPerfect or something?
No, WordPerfect is a whole other. I forgot about WordPerfect. Yeah, WordPerfect is a whole other ball of wax. That's Corel's.
That's right. Well, what did Mac used to have?
Mac used to have their own apps, their own spreadsheet, and their own word processor. But I think they finally gave that up and said, hey, you know what? Microsoft's doing a good enough job with that. We'll just go with that.
Right, because I remember back in the day, if you use WordPerfect or you use Word, you couldn't go between them, and it sucked. Somebody'd give you a document they did on WordPerfect, and if you had Word, you couldn't open it.
Yeah, WordPerfect has kind of fallen to the wayside. I still have some customers
Yeah.
that use WordPerfect, and it's because, and the only reason they do is because they're an old school user. Like they learned WordPerfect back in the 90s
Yep.
when it was actually a thing,
Yep.
and they just refuse to
Upgrade. It's kind of crazy to think that, time passes like that. If you're on the WordPerfect train, all of a sudden you're like, oh, crap.
Yeah,
I got all these documents. What do I do with them?
yeah.
Anyway. All right. Well, if anybody needs to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you or Cena?
You can give us a call at our office at 304-927-3588. Check our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com. Follow us online. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at AM Digital Tech for all that. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast, Help Desk with Joe and Dave. We're on all the major platforms, and all of our podcasts are hosted by Anchor.fm.
Heck yeah. And again, I can't stress this enough. Support your local businesses. Keep them going. And Joe and Cena are with A&M Digital Technologies is local to here in Spencer, West Virginia, where the patch offices are. They power all the patch stuff behind the scenes and all our sites for after-school programs, our daycares, and so forth. All A&M Digital Technologies driven. So, and you guys do regional and expanding work outside the region as well.
Yes,
so
and
even if you're not here, you just listen to podcasts, you want to support them, they'll help you out.
yeah,
out
we
in
have
state, out of state,
we have an
wherever.
online store, which I'm working on our new online store, which I kind
Ooh.
of kept that under wraps.
Upgrade.
So we're upgrading.
You heard it
that
here.
as well.
Breaking news.
Yes.
The end of show 76. Breaking news.
Dun,
Okay.
dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. All right. Well, show 76 in the books. Thanks for joining us here. And again, from the Spencer, West Virginia patch turned up office, A&M Digital Technologies, power and everything. And for myself, Joe and Justin, we'll be back next week for show 77, taking them right off.